Good afternoon, folks. It's 9/11/10. This is a special 9/11 message. Let me first start with saying the loss of humanity is incredible, and the strength and power and resolve of the American people to band together and help each other out of a hole was quite evident that day. We forgot totally about our petty differences, and people helped each other at the scene. My condolences goes out to the people who lost family members, to the wives that lost their husbands, to the husbands that lost their wives, to the brave people that went back into the building to try to help the people. It was a terrible, terrible time in American history. But this whole event, the reason why you can't find too much truth in this entire event is that the agenda and the brutality of the people who are in control of this country and in control of the media overrides rational thought patterns. It's far too brutal and far too harsh for normal thinking. Okay, so I'm going to call this little talk "Dust in the Wind." For many, many reasons, the controlled media would like you to think that there was nothing there but a bunch of dust, that the impact of the explosions had been so severe that everything had been reduced to nothing but dust. I hear testimony from planted liars that they couldn't find a telephone or a desk or all of these things. It's interesting. The largest lies are the ones that are right in front of you, the ones that your eyes see but the mind does not register. A good propaganda campaign separates the mind from the thought pattern. Okay? Use your mind. Okay? Please use your mind and listen to what I have to say to you. The Twin Towers was reduced to nothing but dust. Pay no attention to those steel girders that they loaded on the low boys and exported to China. Pay no attention to those human remains that were removed from the site. Okay? Pay no attention to this and pay no attention to that, because everything was reduced to dust and rubble. Okay? Alright, folks, let's get back to the facts here. If all we have to do is analyze the dust, let's choke them on their own words. Let's look at the dust. Okay. What could all of this dust possibly be? Alright. We saw huge clouds of dust. Okay. When the buildings came down. Incredible billowing clouds of dust. If that had been organic particulate, you would have seen the largest explosion in the history of man. But it was something that would not ignite. What could that possibly be? Well, I know of two things that were on that site that would not burn, that would create a great deal of dust. Okay, first off, you realize that when a certain amount of pressure or a shock exceeds the yield strength of the concrete, we'll start with the concrete first, the concrete it will revert to its previous state, which was powder. Alright, don't try this at home, but I've already tried something like this. Take some concrete, a half a bag of concrete, put it in a bag, and let it dry. Add a little water to it, get it nice and hard, and it'll get hard and hard as a rock. Of course, concrete and water. That's what it does. But allow it to cure in an area that's not damp at all, in a dry environment, so that this way it'll cure nicely. And then put it out, say in a field, say 25 yards out, and hit it with a 223 round, an M16 standard 55 grain bullet. And when you walk up to the bag and open it, you know what you're going to see? You're going to see a bag of powder. The shock value of the bullet exceeded the yield strength of the concrete, so it just completely blew up and turned to powder. Okay, we understand that. Okay, that can happen, and that has happened, because we have done that. And well, what else could possibly be in that powder? Possibly all of that organic asbestos that had been pulverized by the shock, that had been placed in the unused or unrented parts of that building, were blown all over Lower Manhattan, carried in the lungs of the dogs and the rescue workers and the police and the firemen. And where did all the concrete go? Where did all that stuff go? Well, that was evenly distributed on the rooftops and gutters of all of the buildings in New York. Some of it went into the East River. Some of it is still being carried in the lungs of the people who gave aid and went to the scene. The evidence is in the dust, okay? And the dust is in the wind, just like the song says. Give up your petty differences, your religious differences. We're all human beings. Let's try to be a little bit more kind to each other. And when the government formulates legislation and creates regulatory agencies like the EPA that hinder the lawful and safe demolition of a building like 9/11, okay, they need to be disbanded. Bless all of you people in America. Change is coming, like Mr. Obama said, and I wish you strength and prosperity.